Oh my god. Okay, okay. I think I think we're back. I think we're back. Let me I know my audio is probably dog shit right now, but does it know that I don't? It knows everything. It knows everything that you don't know. Oh my god. We're so back. Yeah. I forgot to set up low latency. I think it's too late to fix it now. I think it's too late to. How's my microphone? Is it still really bad? Is it worse? You beat me to it. Is it better or worse? That's what matters to me. Is it better or is it worse? Okay. I forgot to set up low latency. I also I'm all good. Let's go. I don't think you want to know what I just did. What I just did to achieve this. You always sound bad. That's so fucked up. How could you say that to me? Oh, I'm not supposed to. Well, I'm like almost 3 minutes in. I think I'm allowed to swear now. Okay. Yeah, my mic quality is probably not gonna be amazing. Yeah, my voice is back. What did you do? I rigged my phone as my microphone. I rigged my cellular device as my microphone. Um, we're gonna call this one a good enough until I figure out what the heck happened to my regular mic. If I have to buy a new microphone, I'm going to be very sad, but I'm gonna test it on different devices and see what happens. But it's really easy. Aww. I'm so sorry that you have a tummy ache. Which is wait, that means I can just take my phone with me. I can just carry my microphone. If I want to take you guys to the kitchen with me, I can. Hell, we could even go piss together. Ate too many chicken fries, rest in peace. I too had chicken tendies for dinner. Today was a girl dinner kind of a day. I did a bunch of chores that I put off for way too long, and then I just put some chicken tenders in my air fryer and said, that's good enough. That's good enough. I'm gonna assume the people that want to be in here are in here. And we will get going. The one trade-off is that I can't hear any audio. The one trade-off is I cannot hear any audio. I can't hear the music. I hope you guys can, because I can't. Because I cannot. I think there's supposed to be music. I should probably turn my Discord to do not disturb so that there's no Discord noises. Whoa, Discord says that that's crazy. I didn't even know that Discord updates and says that can I forgot I'm a little stupid. I'm a little stupid that the music is going. Okay. We're reviving to background check. Okay, good. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's what we want. Can I move this up? Can I I'm gonna do that. Okay. It's playing. Excellent. I'm gonna turn down the background track a little bit so I can actually start the game. Maybe because you link your YouTube to Discord. Yeah. I forgot that I linked my YouTube to Discord. So it tells you that I'm streaming, which is a little bit like, I never realized that I could do that. I never realized that I could do that. But anyway, now that we've solved that, we are going Yeah, we're just gonna start. We're just gonna start. It's later than I wanted to start, but like, this is simply what happens, I guess. Okay, okay. So, this time, you stretched your last corpse. No! Okay, so this time, I am trying to get the last guy who I have not gotten yet. Um, and okay, so I believe here is where we kind of figure it was where we kind of decide what route. I know this one takes me to Mr. Priest, and this one takes me to Mr. Thief, and this one took me to Rich Boy, but I think I have other options. Ba -ba -ba -ba. I have already done all of this. Explore. Oh, it only takes me here. Okay, so then I guess I should have had to go somewhere else. Okay, okay. There's another thing I would have had to do. No, I don't want to overwrite my save. I want to load. I think better. I can't afford to, I forgot what I picked. I can't afford to give up. We're gonna say I can't afford to give up. Oh, either way, I end up here either way. Okay, okay. Gotta figure out how the heck do I meet the other guy? Because, yeah, how do I meet the other guy? I do this, loading, and then I think it's better to do it after I get some rest, but either way, I end up here. In the morning. I still end up here. I structure. But then if I leave. But then I end up. Okay, what if I do this? What if I do this? I'm just trying to see if anything happened. Through an open. This is a really weird Fortnite stream. Yeah, this is a really weird Fortnite mod, actually. Through an open doorway is a large parlor set up with small round tables and an abundance of chairs. I wonder how many people are doing business here. Well, I didn't want to do that. I doubt barging into most of these hushed conversations would endear me to these people. But there's a loud crowd in the back of the room. We've been standing on a... Oh yeah, so I end up here either way. I end up here either way. Okay, okay. I climb the 3 stairs to the higher platform and sneak around the circle of the people. Someone's going to be leading the conversation, and I want to see who it is. Another peal of laughter erupts from the brightly dressed group. I think I can see the person in the center of the conversation beaming and conducting the hangers-on like a choir. Yeah! I did it! And that's not even the worst of it. No, the worst part was the singing. The laughter dies down. Everyone is waiting for the next punchline. I was sitting there, trying not to lose all my hearing in one night. I don't know why, in my brain I want to give him a British accent, so we're giving him a British accent. Funny, I didn't give little rich boy a British accent. I made him sound very soft boy. I'm not, as you can probably tell, I'm not a voice actor. I'm simply trying my best. I'm simply trying my best. Yeah, he's the only route that I haven't done yet. His is the only route that I haven't done yet. So we want to... I forgot there's my safe word is Yakult. I forgot I set my safe word to Yakult. I bought some more Yakult, by the way. Yesterday, I got a bunch of little Calpico and Yakults. I have a little section of my fridge that's the little treats section. The way I limit myself, because I've been trying to eat better, the way I limit myself is all of my little treats can only fit in the little treats bin, the little treats section. It's a little bin, kind of. It's like one of those little fridge organizer bins. And that's where all of my little treats go. All of my little juices and all of my little yogurts and fancy... I also bought some fancy pudding. All of my fancy little puddings and my little Yakult drink bottles and stuff all go in my little treat bin. And that's how I limit myself. If it doesn't fit in the little treat bin, I don't get to get it. I don't get to have it. Anyway, we're gonna play the game. I was sitting there, trying not to lose all my hearing in one night, and I realized exactly what it sounded like. He sang like an angel, choking on, "Oleander, we've got news!" A masked attendant pushes into the circle and towards the conductor of this merry group. Your timing's impeccable, as always. You get any of them onigiri jelly donuts? No, but I can make them. I don't usually buy them. I just make them. The attendant doesn't notice or chooses to ignore his snippy tone. From the Seven Sisters estate. The attendant hands over a letter. The man, Oleander, steps back a little to read it. One of the merrymakers around me starts to grouse. It's always when he's about to get to the best part. I swear, Ollie's cursed. Careful, he doesn't like that. Doesn't like what? Complaining? That's rich. The nickname. It's Oleander or nothing. Before the first stranger can say anything, I cut it. What? Oleander is his name? Is he the host of this little fete? The two look at me, and the pause hangs on a little longer than I want. Why are you here if you don't even know who Oleander is? Well, the doors were open and the music is good. Why do I keep clicking it? I'm trying to read their body language. Figure out exactly what kind of faux pas I've made. If I've even made one. So you just came in? If it was meant to be a closed party, I'm certain someone rich enough to host this has the money for a spare sign, "Do not enter, very private event." I'm bracing for some flavor of insult. I'm not poorly dressed by any means, but I stand out here through my sheer lack of flamboyance, when an arm goes around my shoulder. Oh, the sign. I forgot to put up the sign. Although you're not quite right, my sign is supposed to say, "No downers allowed." Oleander leans in and I get a very close look at his mask. I can also smell some subtle perfume off him, something warm and spicy. I'm liking him. I'd say you don't look like a downer, but you could be the High Liege of the White Stag House, and I wouldn't be the wiser. What a coincidence! Oh, are you the High Liege? I'm not the High Liege of anything, but as far as you know, that's not very far. That gets a laugh out of him. He takes his arm off me and pulls back enough to offer me his hand. I'm Oleander. It's my food and music you've been enjoying. You're welcome. I can hear the smile in his voice. I take his hand and give it a firm shake. Thanks for not locking me out. I've been enjoying eating your food. He looks at me a little longer, waiting for something. When he doesn't seem to get it, he turns to the others in the circle. And this is why I keep the doors open. Who knows what kind of fun we'll let in. There are appreciative nods. Like the acrobats last time. Exactly. You don't get to see that every day. Well, you don't get to see them every day. Poor bastard. He nods at his conversation partner and the rest of the group breaks out into chuckles. Meanwhile, you're just swimming in acrobats. Drowning in them, absolutely soaked with acrobats. I try to beat them off, but I'd suspect they like that. He sounds so smug, even though it's completely ridiculous. It's an absurd game. He's playing that everyone here is enjoying. Then again, I can't say I dislike it either. But, and this is something I never say, leaving aside the acrobats for a moment, more laughter. How's the stone shoving business these days? Oh, you know how it is. Digging out tunnels, drilling in supports. No excitement to be found? Not so such. No pits opening under workers nowadays. Don't hold out on me, mate. I guess I was right to try and give him a pseudo British accent. I'm not. I feel like what's tripping me up is switching between accent and not accent. Oleander's arm goes around the woman's shoulder. I bet you've dug up plenty of dirt worth sharing. You wouldn't like the dirt I'm getting. Too normal. Well, that's just boring. I need some entertainment. If you're not going to amuse me, what's the point of you? I like him. I like that he knows what he wants. Mate. I like that he knows what he wants. Nah. I think your purpose is rather obvious. Ah, that was supposed to be my line, not Oleander's. Everyone's attention is pulled my way, but I'm focusing on Oleander. My goal, as silly as it feels, is to provide the amusement he's clearly seeking. Don't you need a crowd of admirers to lighten you in addition to your sources of amusement? There's a few little gasps. Sounds of a well-targeted jab, and not fear, thankfully. She's right, Oleander. I know a showman when I see one. What's the word for someone leading the show, surrounded by acrobats? He's pulled away from the woman he was teasing and leaning a little towards me. A ringmaster? Oh, that's the one. I was going to say clown. Damn, get his ass. A smattering of laughter. I don't know if I've crossed a line or if no one else is certain they're allowed to laugh at my jokes. I'm smiling as hard as I can, hoping he can hear that I'm only saying this for fun. You'd make fun of your own dear host? The one who fed you and played music for you? His tone is over-exaggerated drama. This is still a game for him. Thank goodness. I know an attention seeker when I see one. Takes one to know one. I know just your type. You see my parties and start swooning, and before you know it, you're doing everything possible to get my attention. And it worked, didn't it? A few of the other surrounding crowd laughed properly. Only because you set out some irresistible bait, Minx. Oh, you can't say that to me. You can't say that to me. His voice drops a little, getting gravelly at the word minx. Oh, I think I'm at a disadvantage. You know who I am, and as far as I know, you are wayward high liege of the White Stag House. That's not very far at all. No, it's not. Maybe I want to preserve the mystery. I might be dreadfully boring once you know who I am, and then where will I be? Well then. He turns to the others. Seems I have an admirer. Admirer might be a bit strong of a word. I do admire your chef and their work. If you wanted to know the chef, you would go to the kitchen. No, you want me. Unfortunately, so does everyone else. He gestures broadly, sweeping an arm to indicate the whole room. There's a smattering of chuckles. And I want wine. I can get you some. No, I think I'd rather get it myself. Ta-ta for now. He walks away, going around the group and passing behind me. Then I feel a hand on my shoulder, then an arm along the top of my back, then a chin on my shoulder. You want my attention? You've got it, Minx. Ask the nice lady with the sword for vindication, and you'll see what that gets you. I do like him. It is working on me. It does work on me. Then he's gone before I can answer. Okay. That was strange. The crowd lingers, but some of the people are dispersing. Well, I've answered my question. Oleander's quite the entertaining person. Which leaves a slightly more important question. Do I even want his attention? Yeah, she can vindicate me. Yeah. Someone with that much wealth and power could access Luna Ichor. He could be my way forward. But with that much wealth and power, could also do whatever he wanted to me with no consequences. My stomach churns. My curiosity's pulling me one way, and my caution another way. Save. We're gonna save. Find the nervous... Who is the nervous stranger? I don't remember, but I'll go meet Oleander. No one believed I would survive a day down here, and I did. I'll survive Oleander, too. I find the woman with the sword easily enough. In a packed hall, she is given plenty of space. I'm looking for vindication. You've come to the right place. She opens a door for me, stepping back just enough to let me slip inside. She closes the door behind her. There's a lantern on the table, burning as dimly as it's possible to be without going out completely. The chairs look plush, something I can confirm if I take a seat. It takes some time for Oleander to show up. The little room is barely bigger than a closet. With nothing to pass the time, I can't tell how long I've been in there. I practically jump in my seat when the door swings open. Wow, you're here! Excellent. Apologies for the wait. I'm a man in high demand these days. Took a while to shake off my admirers. I suppose I should thank you for your time? You're welcome. No, I suppose I should thank you. I only suppose I should thank you. I hadn't yet. But in supposing it out loud, you made your intentions clear to me, and thus you're very welcome. He slides in the seat opposite mine, setting a wine glass down in front of himself. Wine? No. No more for me, thanks. I've got plenty. Still playing games? Sure. Now, the first order of business, what's your name? If I tell you now, you'll have no reason to stay. Nonsense. You and I both know you have my attention. I'll hear you out. But I don't make deals with people hiding their name. Brat Cody? Even though I could very well invent a name on the spot, just for you. Just for me? I'm touched you'd do such a thing. He pauses for a second, but starts talking again before I can get a word out. It's the principle of the thing, you see. Someone once called themselves No One, and I didn't spot the problem in time. They betrayed your trust, and then you were forced to say no one wronged me. Close enough. Give me a false name for that false face of yours. He holds out his hand. I'm Salem. I take his hand and shake it once, firmly, then I tuck my hand back under my cloak. No need to give him more body language to read. A pleasure to meet you. Most people aren't able to play these little games of mine at my level. Anyone who can is worth knowing. You caught my eye from across the room. A little flattery can't hurt. Oh, you mean you saw me and decided you had to know me more than a man, more about a man of such obvious wealth and charm? Caught my eye might be a misstatement. I heard laughter, and I had to know the reason. I wasn't suspecting a clown, but in hindsight that was the obvious answer. Don't bruise my ego too badly now. I need that. Well, now you know who I am, or at least the important things. What do you want? That's the first thing from his mouth that doesn't sound like part of his game. This is the test, then. Lunar Ichor. I can almost hear him testing the odds in his head, deciding whether or not to believe me. Many people want Lunar Ichor. Of course they do, but I need it. That is already more information that I want to give, and it seems like Oleander can tell. Did I pass the test? Well, that sounds terribly serious. He's not a clown, he's the entire circus. He's saying it with a smile so big I can hear it. Let me guess, Salem. You've been around and no one's selling the stuff. Worse than that, you're never going to be able to afford what it costs anyway. Then you find a fancy party with a host who's obviously got coin, and you think to yourself that he might be your ticket to rare and valuable objects. I do have to wonder what your plan for wringing Ichor out of me would be. I'll do work. Any kind of work. Any kind of work? Don't make promises you don't intend to keep. The threat is obvious, but I've made my choice. Anything. As long as I'm alive at the end, I don't care. Oleander sucks in a breath through his teeth. Don't say that now. Sometimes being alive is the worst thing that can happen to you. I stand by what I said. There's another pause. I let it hang there. I'm not about to change what I've said, and no matter what Oleander suggests. Well then, Salem, I have some interesting news for you. I take it you don't know my career. Either you've earned your wealth or you were born into it. I earned it, as much as you might doubt me. I call myself a lot of things, depending on who's listening, but I think the most apt term for someone like me is smuggler. I don't go between the topsided marketplaces much anymore. There isn't much that enters or leaves the mountain without me knowing. Then would you? I am probably your best hope to finding Lunar Ichor here. And it just so happens that I'm currently looking for a new assistant. What happened to you? Honestly, I kind of want to know. What did happen to your last one? What happened to your last assistant? Oh, he found himself a new opportunity. Sleeping his way to the top of a gambling house. Good for him. That's what I do. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, they say. That said, I would like to have to recruit another assistant so soon. If you'd be so kind to stay with me and not be seduced by anyone else, I could do that. I'm probably not going to find a better option. Yeah! Sounds good. Then you're hired. It's that easy? Oh, there's one more thing. Here's the catch. All of my assistants go by Vigil while on the job. You'll have to agree to that. Oh, is that all? I know it's just one more name to put on the pile. You're clearly someone who uses a fake name with everyone. But I hope you can endure it. I think I can tolerate it for now. Good. He reaches out to me once again, so I respond with yet another handshake. Before I can pull my hand away, however, he grips it a bit more firmly. I hope that working with you is pleasurable as our conversations have been. He brings my hand up and presses it to that painted mouth on his mask. He then lets go of my hand and tips his head to the side, without needing to see that he's smirking. It was a strange gesture, but it still takes a second to recollect my thoughts after it. There's a second of silence, but Oleander is quick to fill it with a time and place to meet up tomorrow, as well as more mundane details about the work. If he's being honest about everything, the pay will be decent. The clock tower rings twice. I have no remaining frame of reference to know if it's indicating the middle of the night or early afternoon, or some mysterious third alternative. What I do know is that I'm in the right place at the right time. 2 o'clock at the Candle Park. Vigil! Pleased to see you here. You say that like you're surprised to see me. I thought you might just take my secrets and run. I have learned a great deal about Oleander's business. Above ground, I would call him a merchant. He sells goods from underground and purchases goods from above ground. He connects buyers and sellers. It's the kind of goods he's trading that marks him as unusual. No live humans, thankfully, but I saw a box of teeth that looked nauseatingly familiar among goods he was sending out. And then there were the magical goods and the allegedly magical goods. I guess that means you've been ensnared by my good looks and winning personality. There's no way I've learned all your secrets yet. Oh, is that all you want from me? We're saving, but I think he's fine. You've got me. You're a fount of charisma, the likes of which I've never seen before. Truly the most incredible man I've ever met. Is that the compliments enough for you, sir? Oleander preens like a damn bird. I'm always ready for more if you have it, Salem. I think I've fed your ego enough. My ego is as fat and happy as a spoiled dog, thanks to you. What an image. Now we have some work to do. He sweeps his jacket around and turns into the motion, making his way to a sweetly decorated tea shop. I keep in step slightly behind him. The first word that comes to mind when I step inside is frou-frou. The decor isn't garish, but it is very bright and intricate. The lamps are blazing brightly compared to anywhere I've seen. The walls are practically lined with paper and fabric flowers, bursting forward with fragrance, frothy bouquets. Someone has lit incense or sprayed perfume in the air. Forgive me for saying so, but this doesn't look like your kind of place. When Oleander told me we'd be going to a tea shop, I imagined a moody, smoke-filled back room. Perhaps that's a failure of my own imagination. Oh no, this is definitely not my kind of place. I kind of, with him turned to the back, he's kind of, you know, he's a little, anyway, or not. We're here because of our next potential client. We navigate the tightly packed tables and chairs and stop at one table with a man sitting at it. The man is plain, even scruffy, slouching so deeply and crossed his arms so tightly, it's hard to tell if he's extraordinarily short or trying to look small. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to see you again, Griff. Oh, Griff! I remember. Oleander takes a seat. I follow suit. Why the sugar-dusted fuck are we meeting here? Because I knew you'd say something excellent like sugar-dusted fuck about it. Oleander sounds entirely too pleased with himself. And who's this? He jerks his chin in my direction. This is Vigil. Rude? I kinda wanna kick him. Would it detract? Would it detract? But I kinda wanna kick him. It's a little rude. Not an easy angle, but I'm able to give Oleander a swift kick to the shin. He hardly flinches. I wasn't aiming to hurt him, to be fair, but he does glance over at me. Message sent. Another one. What happened to the last one? He found himself a more satisfying career elsewhere. Good for him. This new Vigil is quite good, though. Picks up things quickly. She's right here, too. And very capable of speaking for herself. The last Vigil never talked. Glad you've got a bit more guts. Maybe he just couldn't get a word in edgewise with this man as a boss. Griff chuckles. It's not a contest, but I do feel like I'm winning. A member of the waitstaff comes by asking for our orders. Oleander orders tea. Griff orders what sounds like a very expensive cake. I want tea. I ask the waitstaff for a recommendation and order a pot of that. Something full of flower petals and honey from the sound of it. If you're quite finished slandering me, I do have a business proposition for you. When don't you? Oleander brushes right past that comment. I've recently received some information from a very trusted source about a witch ring that is currently available. Fuck me, a witch ring? Actually? So I've been led to believe. It's currently in the hands of a beloved auctioneer. Oh, the routes are connected. No fucking way. Not the auction, the auctioneer. She's currently living in an apartment above the Pearl Choker. I've been to that apartment once. It's well protected, but it's certainly not the same level as the auction house. It's not watertight or mouse-proof. Okay, I'm listening. I thought you might. Vigil, if you would. Oleander holds out a hand. I dig through my pocket and hand over an egg-shaped gold capsule. I paid a very pretty penny for this information, so I expect you not to wreck what has been a very fruitful relationship. You don't need to put on a scary mask for this, man. You know I'm not about to screw you over. If you didn't kill me, Kayer would. Oleander hands over the capsule. Griff cracks it open and lets the 2 golden halves fall to the table. He unfolds the papers that were packed inside the egg and starts reading, hunching himself over the papers to protect them from prying eyes. I swept the 2 egg halves across the table toward me and pocket them again, just as our orders arrive. Without looking, Griff begins devouring his cake, and he keeps reading. Why put the papers in an egg if I'm going to be giving him the papers and keeping the egg? A mystery for another time. What do you think? I think you gotta stop rushing me. Not all of us read as fast as you. You're already getting to the detailed pages. What do you think about the broad strokes? I think... Griff closes his fist around the papers, turning them into a crumpled tube. That I gotta talk to Kayer about this. It's a good job. We could do it if we're at full capacity. And you're not? Gups got hurt during a freelance gig. Poor Gups. I know the tone of that voice. Oleander does not know who or what a Gups is, but he needs to sound sympathetic to keep the conversation going. Well, you know where to send word if you take the job or drop it. I'll be down in your neighborhood with supplies soon enough. Looking forward to it. In the meantime, send Kayer my love. Griff's tone is one of irritation. Don't make me say that. Kayer hates hearing that. Exactly why I'm saying it. You're the worst. I am a delight that you can never get enough of. Your money's a delight, that's for sure. Charming as ever, Griff. Griff stands up and leaves without so much as a farewell. Oleander and I are left sitting at a table with Griff's empty plate. So, that was Griff. He's a funny one, isn't he? That's one way to say it. I start on my tea. Oleander pours himself a cup of tea. And who's Kay here? An old friend? I think that's what he'd say. Well, that's something to look into later. Care! And you send him your love because... You heard, Griff. Care will find it deeply annoying, and I think that's amusing. For someone so enamored with their own wit and charm, you sure are delighted to be an absolute pest about it. The word for me you're looking for is debonair. The word I'm looking for is gadfly. You know, I've heard people call me that before, but it sounds so much more interesting coming from you. But enough about me. That's a rare sentence. I have a very nice pot of tea that needs to be drunk. He unlatches his mask with a slow deliberateness that makes it look like he's putting on a show. Then he raises the teacup and takes a slow sip. He lets out a satisfied moan and chuckles. Excellent stuff. I suppose a shop as dedicated to the botanical arts as this one would have some skill at making tea. I wonder if they'd tell me their source. It's idle wondering, but it makes me smirk a little. Oleander seems to get drawn back into work without much prompting. And how's your tea, Salem? Delicious. Thank you for asking. And are you going to share? Sounds like you want me to share. Yes, but that isn't what I ask now, is it? I like sharing. I always assume that if I'm getting a whole pot of tea, I'm like, well, yeah, it's for the table. Well, that depends on what course of action you take. You're never not a businessman, are you? Oh, trade doesn't occupy my whole life, but I do find life to be better when a mutually pleasurable option is available. The hint of flirtation is getting under my skin. Without saying a word, I hold up my teacup. Oleander cups his hand around mine and leans in to drink from the cup, not letting me go as he does. Then he pulls back, and I see the smirk this time as he says, "Exquisite." I'm keenly aware that I'm being teased. Damn this man. He lifts his own teacup and holds it out for me. Your turn. Yeah. I have to put my hands around Oleander's to guide the cup to my mouth. The tea is ginger hot and sharply bitter. It's a complex flavor, and I let it sit on my tongue for a while. I do like ginger tea. I like strong tea. I like tea that's very strong. I like tea that's sweet, and I like tea that's strong. People that like my family even my family is like, why do you brew your tea so strong? And I'm like, I just like it that way. Good, isn't it? It's a powerful taste. When we're done eating, we pay and leave the little tea house. Oleander promises to forward a list of things I will need to do in the next few days. Chores from the sound of it. A letter arrived for you. Bruna sets down my bowl of porridge as well as the letter and leaves. The letter itself has been scented with some kind of perfume, thick enough to be able to smell through my mask. Salem, a client of mine is hosting an impromptu little party, and I've been told that I may bring whoever is the current vigil along. I suppose I wasn't doing anything else today. Searching the stalls and trying to pull rumors from shopkeepers is important work, but sometimes I long for a break from it. I'm really starting to appreciate Oleander's intrusions into my otherwise monotonous schedule. Here's your checklist to accomplish before the clock strikes 7 tonight. The rest of the letter is a list of locations and what I am to do at each, and where we'll be meeting tonight. Clothing rental, a wine shop, and some place called Satine, where I'm supposed to pick something nice. The makings of a very exciting party from the sounds of it. It makes my very ordinary porridge feel rather dull in comparison. Still, I'm not going to let my breakfast go to waste. Checking Oleander's directions against my own mental map, the shops are laid out so there's no efficient way to visit them all. I'm free to take them in any order I please. Where do I want to go first? I guess we're just gonna go in order. Clothing rental. This shop I reach when I follow the written directions is a little hole-in-the-wall place. Literally, the shop door sits in what is otherwise the cavern's bare rock face. Entering, I'm met with a dizzying array of colors, formalware of every kind, being shown on racks and on the walls. Someone is also playing a mandolin quite badly. Oleander's letter was quite vague on what I was supposed to do here, though the implication is obvious. Hello? The mandolin playing stops, and a head pops out from between two of the clothing racks. Oh, shit! Sorry! Hello! They're stumbling out from between the racks. My best guess is they're a teenager who has not gotten used to their growth spurt yet based on their clumsiness and gangly height. Welcome to the dress cave. Shit. Sorry, the silk web. Without thinking, I raised my hand to my head, obscuring a smile that they won't be able to see regardless. The gesture honestly just makes what I'm thinking even more obvious. I was told by employer that I should come here to rent some formal wear for a party this evening. Your employer? I'm Vigil, if that helps. There's a beat of silence, and then, oh, now I know what the boss meant. Perfect. This is easy. Mr. Absinthe has a tab with us, so you just pick out what you want, and he'll pay for it later. We don't really have time to tailor it tonight, but we have a lot of clothes, so it should be easy to find something that'll fit close enough. So I'm not picking up something for him. I'm getting something for myself. This is really necessary. I'm not taking off my cloak for the party, so any beautiful clothes would be wasted on me. The shopkeeper, or maybe they're an assistant, shuffles nervously. If you don't mind me saying, you should probably get something nice to wear. I'm certain you mean well, but you do have a good reason to want me, or my employer, spending here. Oh, it's not that. It's not money, it's just, since you're not pinning your cloak closed, I can see bits of what you're wearing underneath when you move. They look like good, sturdy clothes, but Oleander wants me to wear something frivolous because that's a sign he has money to spend on clothes just for making his assistant look pretty. Rich CEO vibe, yeah. I'm part of the show now, so I should dress the part. Exactly. And the money doesn't hurt. Yeah. Very well, I'm convinced. How does anyone find things in this dress cave? If you like, you can tell me what style you like and your approximate measurements, and I'll pick out some pieces from the back. There's a lot in the back. All right. I like feminine. I'll pull out a few styles for you. The shopkeeper vanishes into the back of the shop, presumably a cavern claimed by the shop to store inventory. They come back with a sampling of clothes. Suit jackets with trousers or skirts, dresses in every style I can imagine, even a delicate bodysuit that feels a little too daring. Then again, I will be wearing a cloak the whole time. We whittle down the options, the shopkeeper occasionally dropping back into the cave to find something closer to my size. In the end, I'm left with two options that suit my tastes. The occasion and a fit well enough, an elegant black gown and a bright blood-red skirt that pairs with a red bejeweled wrap around my chest. Both are finer than anything I've ever worn in my life. Either of them would work, I think. A fancy outfit is meant to send a message, isn't it? So the last thing to choose is what message I want to send. Even with the cloak on, the red will catch people's eyes. The black under the cloak can trick people's eyes instead. If the lighting's right, it'll look like you're a void. Catching the eye or creating mystery, what do I want? What does Oleander want? I don't know. I'll go for the black because it's what I would just want to pick. The black one. Oleander is the one catching eyes. My job as an assistant is to be in the background, hopefully invisible. And if no one looks at me, that means they won't notice when I'm watching them. What? Okay. Thanks for your help. I don't think I could have braved the dress cave alone. Everything about the shopkeeper's hunched posture and looking deliberately to the side screams embarrassment. Glad I could help. I am out of the shop soon enough with my rented clothes wrapped up in a parcel. Feels criminal to leave the shop without paying, but I will have to return my find in one piece. It isn't mine to spoil. Well, that's a chore accomplished. What's next? The wine shop. The wine shop doesn't have a name that I can see, and when I go inside, there's a little more than a room to stand in. This is not a normal wine shop. I shouldn't be surprised given the instructions Oleander wrote for retrieving the wine. Include be polite. They also include don't spoil the surprise. Hello? The silence makes the hairs on the back of my arms stand on end, but I refuse to be cowed by an empty room of all things. You're supposed to ring the bell at the door. I almost jump to the left and see a shopkeeper, wearing a heavily starched dress and a mask that clings tight to her face, emerge from a hidden door. Be polite. Sorry, I didn't think to look there. Are you some kind of pheasant just strutting into any door that pleases you? What? I'm sorry? Did you just come in off the street, you stupid thing? I curl my toes slightly in my shoes. Polite. I was sent here by my employer. He didn't write anything about a bell in his note either. Employer? Oh no, you're not one of Absinthe's vigil things, are you? I am. Sorry to disappoint you. Have we met before? I'd remember you if that were the case. I see too many pheasants. I don't try to tell them apart anymore. I would be happy to get out of your way, except I don't think Oleander would be happy if I did that without picking up the wine he ordered first. Oh, is he Oleander now? It seems like seems he still doesn't know how to pick out names. Ticket my employer hasn't always called himself Oleander. No, he either fancies himself sly and keeps changing his name, as if changing his name will hide who he is when he insists on always wearing that ridiculous coat. Pheasant you may be, but at least you're the sensible sort that keeps your looks plain. Polite. Thank you. Wait here, and I'll bring you your Oleander's wine. She's gone for a little while. When she returns, she's carrying 2 bottles of wine. They are unlabeled, and as far as I can tell, identical. Pick your poison. Right. Good. The shopkeeper takes both bottles and disappears again. Wait, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save. Take the right. Good. The shopkeeper takes both bottles and disappears again. I've given up trying to understand what is happening here. She comes back with a labeled bottle and a wine glass, with a drum of wine in the glass. Would you like a taste? Yes. Why not? I take the glass from the shopkeeper and swirl it, watching the legs trickle down. I pull my mask over my face just enough to take in a deep breath and catch the wine smell. Then, a little clumsily, I remove the bottom of my mask and take a sip of the wine. It's obviously of a very high quality, but there's a taste to it I cannot place. Something sharp and strange and unrecognizable. I finish off the glass, letting the wine sit on my tongue. Is it to your liking, stupid pheasant? There's something about the shopkeeper's words. It's very good, like nothing I've tasted before. What's in it? It's a fine but ordinary wine, but blended with additional ingredients. That would be the flavor I've never had before. The shopkeeper talks for a few minutes about the process. An exotic seed pod that is mashed and boiled and strained and treated with all kinds of chemicals until it produces a rare and very desirable elixir. An elixir that you now have in your veins. Something suddenly takes my lungs in its fists. It squeezes. My hands go to my chest and my throat. There's no obstruction. There's nothing preventing air from reaching my lungs, but the air is rejecting my lungs. No matter how hard I fight, I cannot take in enough breath. I'm hit with dizziness from the lack of breath or another cause. I try to look up at the shopkeeper. My vision is getting soft and grayness is clawing. What the fuck is happening? Through the deep water, I hear the shopkeeper swear. Idiot, that was a good glass. The gray completely overtakes my sight. I feel my whole body shaking violently. My muscles will ache in the morning from that. Just die quickly so I can put you away. I stop hearing anything else. My heart pounds in my chest once, then twice, then not again. Bad end, don't spoil the oh, he said don't spoil the surprise, so don't drink it. Oh, I was like, I trusted. He said don't spoil the surprise. That's, it's okay. A good thing I fucking saved. Good thing I saved. We're gonna take the left this time. No. No, thank you. Oleander's instructions told me not to spoil the surprise. This is probably what he meant by that. I take my chosen bottle and slip it into my bag. It's not convenient by any stretch, but it'll do. I would like you to leave now. I can do that. The shopkeeper doesn't want me to linger, and I don't want to linger, so I don't. I can cross the wine shop off, if that's what it was, off the list and get on with my day. Satine was impossible to miss. The sign is large and freshly painted in bright colors that stand out in the darkness. It's always busy. I step inside, and the noise does not diminish even the slightest. Satine is huge and labyrinthine. There must be dozens of people wandering about the maze of shelves. Oleander's instructions were to pick out something nice, something decorative to wear, a gift for whoever's hosting, something for Oleander. I suppose it's up to me. I square my shoulders and face the labyrinth. I can already feel the warm, stuffy air starting to gather under my cloak. I don't think I'm going to stay here for long. For a second, I attempt to look at everything on the tall stacks of shelves, packed tight with curios. That's a fool's errand. There's no way to take in everything in this shop. I'll have to fully surrender myself to the chaos. I start walking, and I stop fully on a whim. There's a counter sitting up against the wall that is stacked high with papers. For a second, I think nothing of it. Then I realize that the papers must be on sale. Picking one at random from the pile, I find instead a coverless booklet. The pages sewn together. Each page illustrated and annotated, a step-by-step guide through an autopsy with anatomical drawings. Is this what I want? He said something nice. He said, pick out something nice. No, that doesn't sound very nice. I turn the booklet to the counter. Unsatisfied, I continue turning at the crossroads of shelves. Let's see. Someone passes me and their shadow crosses the shelves. Something gleams in the gloom. I pick it up. It's a knife, chipped down and worn. Hardly useful as a weapon anymore. The hilt and sheath are quite pretty. Is this what I want? I'm gonna save. I think this is what I want, but I'm also paranoid, and I wonder if there's... I want to see what else is there. A knife this old is only going to be a danger to myself. I could get lockjaw from it. One more try. If I fail to find anything of interest, I will just meet Oleander empty-handed. One wall is dedicated on its entirety to masks. I'm not really surprised. Most of them are well loved, and none of them look to be a proper replacement for my own mask. Still, one of them catches my eye. A flat-painted mask that's supposed to resemble an animal of sort. A fox, or a cat, perhaps? It's worn, but it's still quite pretty. I want the knife. I want the knife. Yes. Yeah. I take my find to the crowded payment desk. When it's my turn, I have to speak quite loudly to be heard. Does the name Oleander mean anything to you? It does. They look at my find, placed on the counter. Are you sure you want to use his favor for that? I am. I have no idea what his favor is worth, but I can think of worse things to spend it on. The shopkeeper shrugs, but hands me a little tag. I take my new trinket and head back to the door. I'm let out of the shop only when I show a black tag cloaked figure the tag. Nice cloak. Likewise. And that is the end of my little adventure at Satine. I follow Oleander's final direction to a squat apartment building. I have to climb 2 flights of creaky stairs to find the room indicated on the letter. I knock. Oleander? The door is unlocked, darling. I have problems. It takes little maneuvering to twist the doorknob when I'm carrying several parcels, but I get it done. The room I enter is heavily perfumed with elegant lamps on every flat surface, and an abundance of colorful fabrics draped from the ceiling. Welcome to my parlor. Oleander is lounging in a well-loved armchair, his head tipped back. You must only see a sliver of me through the eye-holes of his mask. I didn't realize that as an assistant I'd be doing your shopping. This is a shopping trip for your benefit. He stands up. Well, what kinds of treasures did you find? I hand him the wine bottle. Good job not spoiling the surprise. The shopkeeper called me a pheasant. Don't mind her. That's just her way. We parted on good terms, I think. Oh? She was happy to be rid of me, and I was happy to leave. A happy arrangement for the both of you, then. What else did you find? You went to Satine like I told you? I did. Good, Vigil. I roll my eyes but bring out my discovery. That looks rather dangerous. I suppose sometimes you need to get your hands around the hilt of something. He's dropped his voice low and smiling. I can hear it. Is he flirting? Anyway, you haven't neglected to rent clothes, have you? I went to the dress cave. Ah, then you've met poor Bobbin. He's some kind of cousin of the owner. That's the reason he works there. He's not well suited to the job. He was funny. Well, I thought he was funny. Oh, I don't disagree. He's very funny. Unfortunately, he's not trying to be. I wonder what happens if I do. He is trying his best. He's doing his best. He's doing his best to help me. I don't doubt that. That's rather the problem, if that's his best. I doubt he'll be in the merchant business much longer. I bring up my parcel, but I don't open it. Do I get to see it? Once I'm wearing it, maybe. If you're going to keep me in suspense like this, I suspect it will be very good. If you get your hopes up too high, you'll never meet your expectations. I will set my hopes as high as I please. If you want to satisfy me, you'll simply have to work for it. With that, he starts on party preparations. He's going in his usual outfit. He has a brand he needs to maintain. He handles the wine, and I go to the small side room to get dressed. I re-enter the parlor with my cloak wrapped tight around me. Ah, Salem, do I finally get to see what outfit you've chosen? You know what? Show him or show... What's the difference? Wait. What's the difference? Show him or show off? I swear... Oh! wait. I was trying to say... Oleander good... Or show off? No, I want it... We're going for the showmanship. I spread my arms wide, lifting my cloak away from my body. I pull it back on my left side, then on my right, turning my body to give him a better look. Then on impulse, I turn on the spot, letting my cloak flare up and out. Yeah, baby! Oleander claps. Bravo, Salem! Wearing black under your cloak, you're going to blend into the shadows. I'm hiding in the shadows, I'll be able to watch without being observed. And you'll be able to listen into plenty of conversations. Merchants ought to know their clients well, right? Oh, they do. You'll be my shadow, then? A shadow that can be sent across a room? I prefer to keep you very close for the most part. A man's shadow belongs at his feet. I'm okay with that. Anyway. At any rate, you've chosen something stunning. You'll have to chase off work offers with a stick. I wasn't planning on taking a different job. Your rate's quite good. Good. Stick with that. And as an incentive, he steps to the side and picks up a parcel off the chair. A gift. This is one you can keep. So I open the parcel and out spills a length of slate gray fabric, thick and smooth. In the fabric there is a shining pattern. I thought you might still wear your cloak over your very fine outfit. If you must, at least wear something worthy of the event and your own charms. Something clatters to the floor. A heavy silver brooch has fallen out of the folds of the fabric. You're not going to ask this back from me? It would hardly be a gift in that case. And I don't owe you money for this. It's a gift, Salem, not a debt. It's yours. Thank you. And anyways, it came to me at no great cost. A lovely young thing forgot it here several months back. I just found the brooch to finish the outfit. I roll my eyes. Leftovers from a previous conquest. Thanks. Okay. It's clean and it's yours now. Stop grousing and get changed. I do. Then we're off to the party. The party is being hosted in a mansion, of course. There's no formal government within the underground, but there are the richest and most powerful families in it, the lords of the marketplace. We go beyond the ruby walls, to the center of one of the richest neighborhoods. The mansion is whitewashed, and the light floods from the open doors and windows. There's several stories to it, but there's a strangeness to the architecture. It feels put together from disparate pieces, as though the mansion was expanded several times, and each was designed by a different hand. Well, it's nice to see that good Lord Valentine is continuing his explorations into the world of architecture. This is new? The wing we're entering was not here the last time I visited. Though, in fairness, that was another life. We passed through the gate and were met by several attendants. Here's my invitation, and this is my +1, Vigil. Welcome, sir. We pass into the mansion. The room is open and tall, at least 2 stories. There are balconies overlooking the main ballroom floor. I can see some heads turn as we enter. A member of the staff approaches, and Oleander is quick to hand over the bottle of wine. Send this to Clarity. Then he directs his attention my way. Tell me honestly now, what's your drinking tolerance? I'll be real, I don't drink much. But we're gonna save just in case. I don't drink much. Then now is not the time to start. Keep yourself sober. I wasn't planning on getting drunk. Let me be clear. The number of drinks it is acceptable for you to have tonight is none. Is that an order, sir? Sass all you like, but this is work for you and I. Just because it's happening while others play doesn't mean we get to fool around the same way. We stop loitering at the door. Oleander is quick to spot someone. Is that my favorite bell ringer over there? Someone turns. Their mouth is uncovered, but I can see their transformation from confusion to happiness as it happens. Son of a bitch, it's Oleander! That's all it takes for significant attention to come our way. We missed you, darling. How has business been lately? How could you leave us for so long? He revels in it. He's in his element. I've been pining away for these parties since I've been gone. Unfortunately, there was a very good opportunity waiting for me in the dust chambers, and I couldn't resist. You went down to the dust chambers? And it makes for a very good story, but first, he gently waves an arm in my direction. I'm the newest Vigil. Pleased to meet you. These feel like the kind of people who expect to be bad at, so I give them a deep nod. I hardly saw you. The good shadow is always present, but rarely noticed. Ha! You got one with a quick tongue this time. I'm rather fond of this Vigil. Though she may be new, the last Vigil was skilled, but not much of a social being. Though I heard the last Vigil found something very social for him to do for himself. Yes, he did. I was disappointed to learn he was leaving, but I can't fault him for his reasons. You, on the other hand. He turns to me. I expect you to stay by my side for a long time to come. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. No running off to get a job at a pleasure parlor, Bunny, you hear? Get a job as a pleasure parlor bunny. I mean, maybe if you're hiring, I mean, we're gonna save. I want to be kind of sassy. I like being a little sassy. I don't know. Being a pleasure parlor bunny sounds pretty fun. What are you going to offer to compete? I offer you good wages and an education, and you demand more. There are some unique benefits to working at a pleasure parlor. Well, Vigil, I think these kinds of contract negotiations happen better in private, unless this is a public negotiation is another benefit. I can't help but laugh. Oh fuck, he's found another one like him. You two are going to be unbearable. Now don't say that. You'll make poor Vigil feel terrible. If you're going to flirt with your assistant, I'm going to be feeling terrible. Spoil sport. Oh, very well. Vigil, go and enjoy yourself. Enjoy a nibble or two. If you need, I'll track you down. Alright. I'd frankly rather stay with Oleander, given that I'm his +1, and he's the only person I know here. Relatable. But I am intrigued what kind of food gets served at a party like this. Let's go. Vesper MC truly is just like me for real. There are several tables laid out for guests, each one of them unique. I pick one at random and start putting little nibbles wrapped in thin, cracked layers of fried dough on a plate. There's also a member of the staff at one end of the table with a selection of bottles. Stick with food, I'm not supposed to drink. I'm not about to go against Oleander's order. that I not drink tonight. Work is not the place to test my tolerance for drink. I take a turn around the room, admiring the art on the walls and some of the prettier outfits on display. One of the great blessings about being masked is that no one can see me staring. I leave my plate of nibbles on a table, and I hope is for collection when I'm done. I stop my tour around the hall in a dark corner. There are a lot of dark corners in a place like this, but this one is unoccupied. I can see a crowd of people where I believe Oleander was, so presumably he's still there and amusing the group. There's a few well-dressed people getting significantly more attention from the staff than the other guests. These might be Lord Valentine or other so-called nobles of the marketplace. Most of my vision is occupied by bright clothes most of the other guests are wearing. This hall might even put the dress cave to shame. Seriously, this is. I hear someone to the left and behind me, which is a little strange given my back is to a wall. I turn and cannot see anyone, of course. This is good. But the voices are still there. Curiously, I lean just the slightest toward the source and focus. If a word about this is right, that motherlode of silver dust is real. Then we gotta move fast. Oh, hell. Silver dust is a drug, not the domesticated sort like sweetgrass or alcohol. Its trade in the underground is tied to dangerous folks. The only deal Oleander hadn't let me see in person involved silver dust exchanging hands. There's every chance that this is information that will be dangerous for me to hear. I mean, it's my job. I breathe in and stay put, keeping my ear turned to the well. My source is on the boat. They say it's coming in 2 weeks. I keep listening. The strangers argue about the reliability of the source. They bicker about what they can do with potential inside information. Then, very suddenly, a large painting swings off the wall towards me. I jump away. The painting swings closed, and I see a woman in a billowing cloak, with peaks of a close-fitting, feathery gown underneath. Okay, there's a secret room behind the painting. After a second, she seems to notice me. I'm just gonna go. I'm not keen to hang around anymore. I turn away and walk toward the crowd, determined to fade into anonymity. I didn't think I'd need to be on my toes this much for a party. I've gotten too used to the marketplace. I'm getting lazy. I decide to continue my trip around the hall before anyone else emerges from a painting. Care for a drink? Someone steps in front of me, holding out 2 wine glasses. What? Sorry, I couldn't help but notice you. I thought this was the best way to break the ice. I'm Adonis. Vigil. It's a pleasure to meet you, Vigil. Now about that drink. Nope. No wine for me, but thank you for the offer. Are you sure? It's quite good. He sips from his own glass. I'm sure. Very well, then. He places the glass on the tray of other passing staff members and smirks. With his mouth exposed, I can see a handsome crookedness in his smile. And what was that about catching your eye? I confess, was seeing a peek of your outfit from under your cloak. It's a very clever way to make seeing your clothes feel a little more forbidden. Well, I dressed to impress specifically you, so I'm pleased it worked. If I'd known you were dressing for me, I would have picked a more daring open move. Next time. Daring opening move? There's a promise in the words next time. Well, don't let me stop you from your turn around the room, but if a conversation partner would be amenable to you, I could be convinced. I start walking, and Adonis keeps my pace, staying close enough to me and make it clear that we're walking together without crowding me. Random strangers are going to approach me out of nowhere. I can only hope all of them have Adonis' social graces. Well then, where are you taking us? I found my greatest joy in the marketplace by wandering around and seeing what happens, so I intend to continue that. Just wandering? Surely a capable guide could give you a better time. Oh, I'm certain one could. My employer gave me directions to Satine, and that was a fascinating shop. Or labyrinth. Oh, good old Satine. What an institution. I'm certain you found something fascinating. Oh yes, I rather like my new knife. However, I only found my employer in the first place through wandering the marketplace. Well, consider this. You have wandered over my path now. Perhaps I'm like your employer, someone who can provide another map to the marketplace. I'm considering it. What sort of wonders would you guide me to? Adonis begins talking quickly, with enthusiasm for the food of the underground. Every kind of person lives under the mountain, and they have brought every type of cuisine with them. And then there are business agreements and marriages, and suddenly there are new combinations of flavors. I think it's fair to say he likes his food. As we continue talking, he suddenly begins taking the lead in our stroll. He brings us down a hallway and away from the main room, and then through one of the many doors. The light here is lower. The sound is muted. It takes a moment, but I recognize the room is a library. The faint hissing of whispered voices confirms that we are not alone here, even if I cannot see any of the other guests. Ah, this is nice. What is it nice for? Sneaking around, getting into mischief? Everyone loves a good library. Don't do mischief in the library! This is a good library, I will confess. A soft moan tells me exactly what kind of mischief is happening just out of sight. Do you want to take a seat? Let's. There's an alcove with a padded bench, perfect for a few lazy hours of reading. We settle there. He leans in. I can clearly see the fine detailing on his mask. Up close, I can finally see that his mask is gilded, too. So, Vigil, is that what I should call you? It's who I am for the moment. For the moment? I'm allowed days off, too. And who are you on those days off? Someone else. He chuckles. Message received. I won't ask any more. But I will ask, what does this Vigil do on her days off? Tidying, mostly. Really? You should see the state of my room. I have a knife to add to the piles. He laughs, leaning in and bumping me. He rests a hand on my back, and the hand stays even as he pulls back. I'd like that. To see a messy room. The hand slides up a little more. He's being familiar. To see your messy room. It's important to be specific about these things. What? Am I about to hook up with this guy? I mean, I want to be loyal to Oleander. I don't know if I trust. Yeah, I don't trust him either. I don't trust his ass either. Okay? I feel like he's going to rob me. But he also seems like a little rich boy. But I also feel like I'm a little curious. I saved. I kind of want to know, like, what kind of sketchy he is. I kind of want to know, like, what kind of sketchy he is. Like, I feel like something's going to happen if I let him continue. And I'm just curious to know what he's going to do. Because I know he's going to do something. Is he going to, like, rob me? Am I going to get stabbed? Like, am I going to get kidnapped? That might be kind of spicy. I'm just curious. I know this is probably not a good idea, but I just want to see. I don't say a word about the contact. That seems to embolden him. His hand slips along my cloak until he's got his whole arm around me. Tell you what, Vigil, why don't you show me that room of yours? Why don't you show me that new knife? I'd like to get to know you better, after all. His proposition might have been subtle. If not for the tone of his voice, he's letting every word rumble in his chest. He's bold, I give him that. I'd rather not. I'm working right now. Yeah. I smell bad end, but this is definitely bad end, but saying, listen, I'm working right now. I'd rather not. I'm gonna say I'm working. As interesting as that sounds right now, I'm working. This is working. So says my employer. What a curious person they must be. Curious is one word for him. Well, I suppose I shall have to put off seeing your knife for another day. I wonder if I have a different dialogue if I said I'd rather not. I'm flattered you'd be interested in my room, but I'm not giving tours at the moment. Not even private ones, for interested parties? No, I should think not. He does seem to understand me. And I shall withdraw my interest for now, but should that change... He stands up, then takes a little card from inside his jacket and hands it to me, in case he decides to get in touch. Okay. Now I'm curious. I'm curious. Till then. Okay, so either way, he gives me his card. In case you decide to get in touch. It's a little hand-printed card with his name and address on it. Is there a secret password? He smirks wide and leans in. He whispers something remarkably filthy in my ear. Does that suffice? I'm still attempting to gather my thoughts. It's certainly unique. I'm afraid I must leave you now, but don't forget that address, that password, and you'll have my full attention. Yeah, he's actually very nice about it. I was thinking something bad was gonna happen. Yeah, don't make me fall in love with his shadow. Is it bad that I kind of wanted to keep? I was like, I don't mind hooking up with this guy. He seems very nice. Yeah, flattering. Thanks, brother. In the privacy of my own mind, I can admit to myself that it's gratifying to be the subject of someone's interest. It's inevitable that I would end up in Oleander's orbit again. Even if he wasn't my employer, he somehow makes himself the center of the party no matter where he is. Even when he's alone, as he is now, I'm able to smoothly fall into a step beside him as he moves. How many saves do I have? I'm out of save pages! Vigil, welcome back. Good to see you haven't gotten into any trouble. Now don't pretend to be my minder now. I'm much more concerned for you about you causing trouble. I've been having some adventures. Oh, enlighten me then. The card I received from Adonis sits heavy in my pocket. I mean, he's my boss. I feel like I should tell him. I feel like I should tell him. I made a new friend. Oh? Well, friend is probably the wrong word, but he was very interested in me. I can't be blamed if I'm purring a bit. The attention was flattering. Vigil, have you been neglecting your work? We're here to network, aren't we? And I do have a new contact from all this. I flash Adonis's card. Oleander swipes it from me. Ah. I hate to disappoint you, but I'm afraid your new friend is actually interested in me. How can you manage to live underground with an ego bigger than the mountain? He would very much like to see me broke and dead, in that order. Adonis is a competitor of mine. Of course. It's very possible he's also interested in you for your own sake. Be careful in dealing with him. He returns the card to me. A little danger can be fun, but be cautious. And here I thought I was starting to learn the secrets of your irresistible aura. Now really, Vigil, you can't accuse me of having an ego the size of a mountain and then call me irresistible like that. Now, are you going to ask me what I've been up to? Have you been flirting and deal-making and putting yourself at the heart of the party? He must be there trying to snatch you. Yeah, I bet he's just trying to counter-recruit me. However did you guess? You are, forgive me saying, sir, a bit predictable. He chuckles, the sound coming deep from his chest. He leans in close, his mask brushing the hood of my cloak, and he rumbles. Just because you haven't seen them yet doesn't mean I'm not full of surprises, Salem. Oh, I feel like I've just noticed a steep drop that I've been walking past unawares. As much as I'm startled by it, the adrenaline rush that also comes is thrilling. But how about a drink first? No. Aren't you the one who told me not to drink anything? Oh dear, you've seen through my clever trap. How clever is asking me to drink after telling me not to? Regardless, I will have to decline. Good thinking. He taps above my head. It's an odd gesture, but maybe he's loosening up. He's definitely indulging in some drinks. Then, to my surprise, Oleander takes a silent step back. Before I can respond, someone has replaced him. A man, I think, wearing a gilded wolf muzzle mask with a distinct patina. Hello, you're the newest Vigil, if I recall. I am. Excellent. I was looking forward to meeting you. I'd say the same, but I don't know who you are. Ah, yes, you can call me... They think about it just long enough that they may be putting on a show. Wolf. That'll do nicely. Pleased to meet you, Wolf. I'm certain that's your name. I see why he likes you. Thank you. Is that why you wanted to meet me? In a manner of speaking, yes. I don't know how much you know about Oleander's previous assistants. Only the last one that left to pursue another career. Well, that was an unusual case. Most of his other assistants left when they found trading careers of their own. Makes sense. Treat working for him like an apprenticeship. Exactly. And so those assistants have gone on to be quite successful. And unfortunately, I failed to see their potential in time. So I'm a business opportunity. I thought it was... Well, I guess this guy is a furry. He is basically wearing a fursuit. Patron sounds more appealing, I would say. I think I could bring a few opportunities your way. In exchange for that assistance, you might be able to find some things you could do for me. Can't say I expected this. It's an appealing offer, but do you need a response now? Parties like these feel like a good place to propose deals, not seal them. He laughs. No, I agree with you. This is neither time nor place to make that choice. He picks up 2 wine glasses from a passing tray and holds one out to me. But you'll think on it, won't you? Decline. I wave my hand just enough to signal my rejection of the wine. No need to bribe me. I'd think on this offer even if you didn't give me wine. I'd be an idiot not to take this chance. I doubt a patron can open more doors for me than Oleander can. But if I have even one more chance to find Lunar Ichor without him, I need to take it. But I'm not about to be desperate about it. My new patron leaves, and Oleander fills in the gap, as if he was never gone. Have I lost you to a better offer, then? I received a very tempting offer to become a pleasure parlor bunny. But I'll remember you ordered me not to do that, and so we renegotiated. Well, I'm glad I can trust somebody to stand with me. And now I have an important question. I'm bracing myself. How are you at dancing? You know, I think I'm pretty good. I'm gonna say I'm pretty good. I'm quite good, actually. I'm not. What a coincidence, so am I. You know, I'm fooling myself. He taps my mask over my nose. Let's do our best, then. He offers me his arm. I like the sound of that. The musicians strike up a new tune as we cross onto the dance floor. What? Well timed. You'd be surprised how often a little observation and foreknowledge will go in impressing people. He settles his hand on my waist. I'll take the lead this time. I'll follow your lead and endeavor not to tread on your feet then. I will appreciate the effort. The music plays in earnest, and Oleander quietly prompts me which way I should step for each beat until I pick up the pattern. I might be dying. I might be dying. Just a little bit. I might be dying. I don't know why when I'm dying I become Kermit. But I'm dying. I have such a weakness for dance scenes. Maybe it's because when I was in high school, in your senior year, we were still required to take a gym class. Because I think up till that point, you just took generic. Here's the gym. You're just told go to gym class, and then we go to gym class, and that's what happens. But in 12th grade, you have a choice. You still have to take a gym class, but you get to choose which gym class you take. And I chose social dance, or which is basically ballroom dance. But also we did the Cotton Eye Joe. But also we learned basic ballroom dancing. Because I'm lazy and it's the one gym class that you didn't have to change into other gym clothes for. You could just show up. And also I'm lazy and not very athletic. So I didn't want to pick a different one. And so I do quite like dancing now. I do quite like dancing. I think I have a pretty good sense of rhythm since I did music since I was pretty little, since I was a little baby. Yeah, I like to think I'm okay at it. So, dance scenes like this really get me. Our dancing is much simpler than everyone else around us, but we are dancing properly, which is more than I could have said for myself. I want to go back and say I'm good at it. You know what? You know what? You know what? I am good at it. Fuck it. I wonder. I feel like I will get better. I feel like I like the option. Oh wait, I get there's different dialogue. He settles his hands, and I'll take the lead this time. Oh, not going to let me sweep you off your feet? That is something I would love to see. The music is playing a sultry tune in 4. It is easy to predict what style of dance Oleander is going to take. His hand closes around mine, and we begin to glide across the dance floor. He's a confident leader, and I know exactly how to follow. So, Vigil, what do you think of this? I never imagined myself at a party like this before. I just want you to play Our Life because Bax's route so bad just because of the ballroom dancing. I tried playing Our Life. I haven't played it in a very long time though. I know it's updated quite a bit. I understand why so many stories at this time. I understand why so many stories are set during these kinds of fancy parties now. There's something unreal to this kind of festivity, isn't there? Music, indulgence, sex, and beautiful, mysterious strangers. I'd like to read that book. And you've made some good progress as my assistant. That's a generous assessment. As much as I would prefer you to be flawless from the start, making mistakes early is a good chance to learn. He signals a turn, then swings his arm out, I turn outward, then back in. He holds me closer, bends forward in a shallow dip. And what do you think? Is this life something you'd like? That's what I need to do. I like this. No, I like him. I like him. I just like seeing the different dialogue options. The life of immersion's assistant isn't so bad. I think I could come to enjoy this. Oh, so a beautiful outfit in a high-class party are only enough to make you think you might enjoy this life. What'll it take to convince you? You're insatiable. You'll just have to keep impressing me. And that won't be too hard for you, right? I'm glad you're beginning to understand. We turn across the dance floor. It isn't a contest, but we are easily the most graceful pair on the floor. Oleander's hold on me is firm but proper. He makes no effort to pull me closer onto the dance, hold or sink his hand lower than it should. For a man so open and forward about his sexuality, it is a bit of a surprise. Suppose I've judged him unfairly in that way. I've an impulse, and I do not deny it. I hold tighter to Oleander's shoulder and pull myself just a bit closer. It doesn't take longer for him to understand. Oh, is that the game we're playing? He growls those words. His hands press firm lower on my waist. I can feel the beat of the music intensify. When he dips me again, his face is so close to mine I can hear our masks scrape against each other. I know he likes to present himself as always having fun, but this is the first time I feel like he's having fun without any secondary motive. We're just dancing. Indirect kiss? Was that an indirect kiss? Vigil, let's talk. How worried should I be? Not worried at all. You are not about to be admonished. That's a relief. I'd hate to see what you look like when you're being serious. Oh, they'll come soon enough. He pats my shoulder. I just wanted to tell you that tonight has been a pleasure. You're a bright little thing, you know. I do know. So glad to see. So glad you can see it from that behind that mask of yours. I try to put on some imitation of his ego, and he chuckles. I hope you're not becoming too much like me now. Given how much you adore yourself, I thought you'd like that sort of thing. He shrugs. One of me is more than enough, I think. I wouldn't want to inflict being me on anyone else. Huh. I don't think he meant to sound so heartfelt just then. Those lazy fools need to develop their own sparkling personality. And he's back. Well, I think I've been earnest enough to last me a year. Back to business. Come along, Vigil. This will be a memorable one. I feel a strange sense of anticipation build on me. Oleander promising something memorable has, so far, paid off in impressive sights. He takes us back to the entrance of the hall, approaching a member of the staff. I believe Lord Valentine has agreed to meet privately with me. Of course, sir. The staff member starts walking, and we walk half a step behind them. Just like that? I know Oleander's distinctive, but even so, I would not expect to just be taken to Lord of the Household without some kind of proof. Perhaps he has a closer relationship with the master of this house than he mentioned? We walk back down a familiar hall, toward the library. The staff member leads us through the labyrinth. Somehow we do not come across any couples in the midst of their private business. Here you are. Thank you, Clarity. Oleander tosses the staff member a coin. They bow and leave, and Oleander knocks on the door. Lord Valentine, I believe you're willing to speak with me. It's Oleander. Come in, Mr. Oleander. Lord Valentine's office feels like a natural extension of the library. Lord Valentine himself is a surprisingly small presence in the room, though not for a lack of trying. He's dressed ornately, sitting at an impressive desk. He nods to us, but does not stand. Strange. I've taken the liberty to order us a bottle of wine. I'm certain you don't mind. Did he? Perhaps while I was off on my own merry adventures? Very good, I could do with some wine. When I threw this party, I thought I would get to enjoy more of a kerosene myself. Ah, the terrible weight of being sought after. I hope for the sake of future kerosene that few people would take an interest in you. Lord Valentine scoffs. Oh, pardon me, I forgot to introduce myself properly. I'm Oleander. As you well know, I pride myself as a merchant capable of both discretion and trustworthiness. He bows. And this is my assistant, Vigil. I bow. A pleasure to meet you, Lord Valentine. An excellent shadow you have for yourself, Mr. Oleander. I hardly noticed them. And to what do I owe your interest? Oleander slides gracefully into the chair across Lord Valentine. I stay standing, hovering over his shoulder. I really am his shadow. I've heard that you might have need of a new merchant contract, and I thought I would put forward the best name I know, mine. Lord Valentine chuckles. A bold stance. Tell me how you would live up to it. If I had pen and paper, I would record the details of the meeting plainly. As it stands, I can only just keep up with the rapid conversation between the two men. As ridiculous as they might be, both of them understand trade very well. If I'm right, it's a lucrative deal if we can get it. A knock on the door interrupts the talk. Vigil, if you would. I answer the door and bring in the bottle of wine. This is the familiar. I don't say anything as I hand the bottle off to Oleander. If he wants to pretend the wine he brought actually came from Lord Valentine's cellar, that's his business. Lord Valentine opens a drawer for his desk and brings out 3 glasses. Short ones for liquor, as opposed to wine glasses. Does the assistant drink, Mr. Oleander? No, she's not one for drinking. Oleander pours a glass for himself and Lord Valentine. He's not wrong, but he could have let me say that for myself. Perhaps I need to give him another nudge to the shins later. Oleander and Lord Valentine clink their glasses together and drink. Oleander moans, satisfied. I do love doing business with the lords of the market. You serve the best wines. There's an unusual taste to this one. I'll have to ask where it came from later. Now, where were we? Discussing the man that is currently causing you trade difficulties. Right. Lord Valentine sounds slightly strained. Oleander is exhausting, but Lord Valentine must not have much stamina. They've barely been going for 10 minutes. If I'm to join you in your trade enterprise, I'd like to know what you plan to do with your roadblock. We're still deciding. Between what options? Bribery may work. If the roadblock is just interested in lining his own pockets, there are always threats. Lord Valentine's breathing is getting heavy. Ah, but I know you better than that. You're the sort of person who sees a problem and hires an assassin about it. What? You heard me perfectly well. You're... Lord Valentine reaches for his throat. Oh! Hush, Salem. All is well. How is it possible for a person to choke on air? Lord Valentine's breath comes as thin, labored heaves. He can't get his voice out. Lord Valentine pounds on his desk. Well, look at that. You should be grateful, you know. If I had my way, I'd be killing you very slowly. What the fuck is happening? I couldn't believe my luck. Getting a rare personal invitation to Lord Valentine's estate. No reference needed. And who's willing to take a meeting? Oleander stands and pounds the desk himself, leaning over Lord Valentine. Pretty old bastards like you never change. You're the same as you ever were. He levers the mask off his face slightly and spits on the desk. Just die already. If I don't get to savor it, at least make it quick. Lord Valentine stands unsteadily. He looks at me, one hand outstretched. I'm watching a man die. I can't move. I can hardly breathe myself. My lungs squeeze tight with fear. He collapses, arms still stretched towards me. I'm going to throw up. I do, retching violently and making a mess of the beautiful cloak I was given only hours before. I only just barely pull the bottom of my mask off my face. Leander's hand is gentle on my back, his palm running circles over my spine. Well, you're certainly not about to forget this. I'm sorry you had to see that, Salem. Unfortunately, I needed you here. I'm trembling. It's not just about Lord Valentine lying dead on the floor. How are you still breathing? The wine you made me pick up. It was poisoned, but you drank it. I have had a lot of time to prepare for this moment, including developing a strong stomach and high tolerance for the darker things. If I look up what I will have to see his mask. I don't want to. But I don't want him to think I'm vulnerable, in case he tries something with me. There he is, unreadable. I know this is difficult for you right now. He cups my cheeks through my hood. But right now, I need you to play along with me. You're good at that, Salem. Lord Valentine just died suddenly. He and I both drank wine from his cellar. That's all you need to say. I'm trembling in earnest. Shock from seeing someone die. Fear that I'll be next. My empty stomach churns. I'm in hell. I have to scream now. Cover your ears if you need to. He turns to the door and stumbles toward it. Help! For the love of the lunar gods, we need help! Lord Valentine just died! Help! Good end? You've learned that that's the good end? We kill someone? And that's the... No, literally never trust anyone in this game? Yeah, you're right. I don't trust a single motherfucker in this game, but that's what makes it good. I like that they're sketchy. I like them a little sketchy. What can I say? I like them a little sketchy, and I think it's hilarious that the good end, we commit murder together. I'm an accomplice. We commit murder together. Oh my god. You know? Bonding activity. I like him. I like him. But this is the best end. Is this the best end? Is it? It said good end. Is there a best end? Can I get best end? Is that like a thing? I wonder. Okay, now that I've done my blind playthroughs, I kind of want to go, because I know there's an endings guide. I know there's an endings guide. I kind of want to look at it and just be a completionist and see what all the endings are. But I think I'm just gonna do it by myself. I'm gonna just do that by myself. Because just me being a completionist. But I had a lot of fun. Did you get best end for Kair? I got good end. I'm pretty sure I got good end for Kair. Let me check. Kair's route, welcome home. I don't know if it said best end. It just said I got the end, welcome home. No peekings, but well played. I only get titles, not like ending or best or anything like that. I think I just got good end. Though I think I just got good end for Kair. But I did get whatever. I did get whatever the last one is, which I can only assume is like the best one you can get. Because I know Cirrus, I got the second to last. Welcome home. Yeah, you made it home. Francesca's route at a time. And then Oleander, I got the last one. So I'm assuming this is the good one. That's good. But I wonder what the other endings are. Yeah, check the guide later because I feel like we're missing something for Oleander. Okay, I'm gonna look at. Give me one. I'm just gonna download it. Give me like 1 second and I will download it. Okay. I literally had the store page open. I literally had the itch.io page open. Okay. Oleander's route. Okay. Oleander ending 6. One of the. Okay, yeah. I got the ending when I drink the wine. When Adonis offers you a drink, I can go back. I'm assuming it's another one where I die, but I guess. Well, just for the sake of like doing it, we will try it. Listen, just for the sake of like doing that, we'll try it. We'll take it. Thank you. I take the glass from and take a sip. It's good. And what was that about catching your eye? I confess. I was seeing a peek of your outfit from under your cloak. It's a very clever way to make seeing your clothes feel a little more forbidden. Well, I dressed to impress, specifically you, so I'm pleased it worked. If I'd known you were dressing for me, I would have paid more daring. I already read all this. I could be convinced of myself. All of this text is stuff I have already read. Cannot see other guests. Why? I sink down. The tiredness is coming on. Did he roofie me? Am I drugged? Why? Are you alright? I feel a little woozy. Maybe that drink was stronger than I thought. Adonis sets a hand on my shoulder and the other on my knee. Just take a deep breath. I'm not about to stop breathing. My head feels unbelievably heavy. Yep, Adonis's hand gently guided me to lie on the bench. There you go. My eyes are shut. I didn't realize I'd closed them. Oh, fuck. The realization hits me. Not now, please. Please. I can't open my eyes. My symptoms aren't supposed to be this severe yet. A hand, Adonis's hand, smooths back my hood and runs over my head. That was surprisingly easy. I guess the old bastard's getting slow and not teaching his assistants properly anymore. What? I can barely think. The moment of panic was the only thing keeping me awake with the shock fading. Well, he'll get what's coming to him. Another stroke. Sorry, Vigil. Not your fault that your employer is a motherfucker. Quiet. Bad end. Putting too much trust. Yeah. I knew I'd get a bad end if I accepted his drink. And then there's another one where when I'm just at the party and I take the drink then. Come on. Load. When I'm at the party and I just take the drink. Get a drink. Ask for a glass of whatever the staff member would recommend, and I get a tall flute of something bubbly and pink. It's not as sweet as I expected, but it's still bright and pleasant. I take a turn around the room, admiring the art on the walls and some of the prettier outfits on display. We were in love with you for 5 minutes, yeah. It's okay, I was in love with you for 5 minutes. One of the great blessings about being masked is that no one can see me staring at you. Mostly visible. The dress game is seriously. I hear someone to the left. It's good, but the voice is still. Listen. Oh, wait. Get a drink. That locks me into ending 18. Okay, I guess I shall be stuck on ending 18. Leave. Decline. I will tell him. It's not that. Adonis is a competitor of mine, hard to say, believe, but I will not have him interfering with my employees as part of this feud. You think this is about you? He may very well find you intriguing and charming. In fact, I rather suspect he does. But I wouldn't be surprised if his interest in you had something to do with being my assistant. He returns the card to me. I suspect you're not interested in meeting him again, but if you do, tread lightly. Now, are you going to ask me what I've been up to? What was it? I want a drink first. Now! Now! What I haven't stepped on your foot yet. I'm impressed. You're better at this than you suggested. I could still step on your foot later. I trust that you'll stay careful. When the music ends, we retreat to the end of the dance floor. Let's talk. I believe I asked you to drink within your tolerance, did I not? You did. And have you? I have. He tuts. You're sloppy while dancing. Even for someone who is only able to try their best, I feel fine. You feel fine because you're affected. As much as I wanted everyone to have a good time, the simple fact is that I gave you a clear order and you went against it. I didn't. That will be all for tonight, Vigil. Go home and meet me at my parlor tomorrow. We'll discuss your termination then. I get fired! Oh, he meant it. Bad end. You're overindulged. Yeah, I had a drink. He fires me. Rest in peace. And then the last one, I was supposed to have started earlier. But I think that was one of the earlier options, and I think I can just get through. I think all the other ones I did correctly, though. One of the options earlier, I picked the wrong one. Satine, Vindication. Yeah, your money's good, too. Oh, so mercenary of you. Aren't you even a little glad to be seeing me again? The NTR bad end. Not the NTR bad end. I'm glad you repaired your PC. Honestly, yes. When I woke up today, I was looking forward to seeing him again. Even if he's a danger, I'm certain he is. At least an entertaining one. From our first meeting, I've known enough about him to know that saying that would make him intolerably smug. Fishing for compliments already. Do you need my approval that badly? He drops his voice both in pitch and in volume. There's a difference between need and want, Salem. I would be glad to demonstrate. The tone of his voice is so outrageously vulgar, it stops me and my thoughts dead for a moment. Stops my thoughts dead for a moment. Later, that is. We have work to do. He sweeps his jacket around and turns into the motion, making his way to a sweetly decorated tea shop. Does this choice matter? Okay, it doesn't. Tea. Okay, I think the guide only tells me what choices matter, and this one doesn't. Yeah, this moment did kill me, but we're not gonna relive it. Because I need to live. I wonder, no, I like the black. I can't imagine wearing something so crazy. Wait, is this? Yeah, would you like a taste? No. Boo. Simple plate. Mounted to a screw and placed in a frame. Tuck my hands under the arm. Should I've guessed torture like this? Is this what I want? Oh, this is different. It's a simple small plate mounted to a screw and placed in a frame. Tuck my hands under its arms. Under my arms. I should have guessed torture tools like thumb screws would be down here. No, I don't want a torture device. Unsatisfied, I continue turning at the crossroads of shelves. I'm hit with a wall of aroma as I go down the hall. It's sweet and herbaceous. Not just the sweetgrass smell I'm familiar with, but dozens of other scents. There's a jar labeled sage. When I open the lid, I'm met with the familiar scent of the herb. It's not a common find down here. Yeah, but I am kind of curious. I just want to see what the other options are. The rat's body? No, I want the sage. Ah, shit. I didn't save. And it won't let me go back. That's my fault. That's my fault. No, load. We have to go back here because I didn't save. Because I'm a fool. Skip. Let's save. Let's save. Oh, it's different every time. Rodent skulls, no. Masks. No. Scalpel and strained scissors. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Satine. I'm gonna start from the beginning. Nope. I wonder if I get anything else. I don't want a torture device. I guess we're getting a funky mask. Whatever, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Show off. I know this one was important. I don't drink. The next choice that matters is the one, what are you going to do to keep me? I don't know, being a pleasure parlor bunny sounds pretty fun. What are you going to offer to compete? I offer good wages and education, and you demand more. Stick with food. The next choice that matters is the one that's at the very end. Listen in, because I think it's fun, but I'm also going to get the fuck out of here. No, I don't want his alcohol. Sure, I'll like start hooking up with him, but it's fine. I'll tell him. What does he say? How about a drink? No! No! I'm pretty good. I like this. The life of a merchant's assistant isn't so bad. I think I could come to enjoy this. Oh, so a beautiful outfit and a high-class party are enough to make you think you might enjoy this life? What'll it take to convince you? You're insatiable. You'll just have to keep impressing me. That won't be too hard for you, right? I'm glad you're beginning to understand. We turn across the dance floor. It isn't a contest. We're usually the most graceful on the floor. I have an impulse. I hold tighter to Oleander's shoulder and pull myself back just a bit closer. It doesn't take long for him to understand. Oh, is that the game we're playing? He growls those words. His hand presses firm and lower on my waist. I can feel the beat of the music intensify. When he dips me again, his face is so close to mine I can hear our masks scrape against each other. I know he likes to present himself as always having fun. This is the first time I feel like he's having fun without any secondary motive. We're just dancing. When the music ends, we retreat to the end of the dance floor. Vigil, let's talk. Ooh. I get the distinct impression he's smiling at me. Let's take this somewhere a little more private. I expect him to go towards the library, but instead he leads me toward the stairs, and we climb them. Okay, are we not committing murder this time? I mean, I did like bonding over murder, but he did also have to see me puke on myself, which is not great. Not something I would want to do in front of my boss, slash, hi. Hi. At the top of the stairs is what amounts to a walkway that wraps around the ballroom, with the floor below in an easy view. There are people up here, but fewer than I would have guessed. I suppose compared to the library, this is not ideal for most kinds of antics, but at least it is a little quieter. Let's take a stroll, shall we? Oleander offers me his arm, and I take it. We start our stroll. It's good to be back. As always, I was away from this sort of thing for a while, you know. Down in the dust chambers? You were listening. Well done. It's my job, isn't it? I'd be a poor assistant if I wasn't paying attention to you. Except all those times you sent me away, of course. And in sending you away, you had plenty of adventures. Spreading your wings is important in this business. And I quite like you, Salem. But everyone wants to, or can keep up with me. I'm glad to have someone with me who's able to follow me so well. His voice gets so gentle for a second. I don't trust easily. And you're certainly not there yet, but it's been an easy start to the process with you. I don't know how to say what's in my head. If I tell Oleander that being with him has been fun and enlightening, the experience I'm glad to be having, I doubt he'd take me seriously for long. And his ego would be unbearable. It's been a pleasure working with you. You say that like you're about to stop. At least wait until the night is over before you decide to leave me. I still have something show-stopping to show you. He makes it sound sexual, of course. Is this your way of propositioning me? Depends on if you're looking to be propositioned, and what you would want from that. I've hardly had a chance to think that far. If you're as good as your boasting makes you sound. It's not boasting if it's accurate. Then it's just a statement of fact. After all the facts you've implied to me, your record sounds incredible. Now I'm curious if the man lives up to the legend. After tonight, if you still want to work with me, you can always ask. You won't be winning any advantages in your career, but if you considered a good fuck its own reward, well, that's not what I was expecting you to... I was not expecting to go the route. I mean, I figured, he was kind of hinting at it. I would never be opposed. I was not expecting to hook up with my boss. But... okay. At least he's not expecting sexual favors from me. I'll consider it. I'm glad. Give it a thought. It's not long until we've finished a complete circuit of the walkway. Well, I've got one more bit of business to accomplish tonight. Come along, Vigil. This will be something memorable. I feel a strange sense of anticipation. We do still commit murder! Woohoo! Yay! Woohoo! We did it! Murder! But also... okay! Okay. Did I get a different ending? I skipped it and I didn't realize. Well played. Revenge games. I think this is what happened. I think this is the one that happened. I think I got well played. I think that's what I got, because no peeking is you spoiled the surprise. Detached is from Francesco's route. No peeking was I died from the wine. Revenge games is I died to Adonis. Overindulgence is I got fired. And well played, you know how to play the game. That's the good ending. Where I guess I'm hooking up with my employer, which is the only thing I can say in this video game. I can only say in this video game. I feel like I can't even enjoy, those, workplace romance K-dramas, because it just feels so unrealistic. I'm like, I don't mind my job, but I'm also like, I don't want to sleep with a single one of these people. Because even if any of them were like, you know, I I feel like if I hooked up with someone that I worked with, I would just be reminded of work during my off time, which is not what I want. Which is not what I want. And the power imbalance too. Then you think about it like realistically, let alone your fucking boss. I'm like, one nightmare scenario. Um my boss is a middle-aged tech bro. I would rather not. Um and like you think about the power imbalance. Like I can't I can't even like complain to my boss about certain things in my job, like regarding my job, because I would like to keep my job. Because, if I lose this job, then I am homeless. And I don't want that. Um, but yeah, like, honestly, workplace romance is kind of the least sexy thing imaginable. Yeah, holding someone tenderly and wondering if your TPS reports were correct and if you left any lights on. Fun fact that my dad was my mom's boss after they got married, so I didn't get how they balance between them. Wow! I mean, I guess it can work. Like, technically, my current partner, like, we were dating and then I worked at the same company as him for a little bit, but it was like a temporary thing. Um, I could not imagine that being like my actual career though. Um, I basically worked as a temp in the same company, but that's like kind of it. I feel like I think about my current job, which is like in the career direction that I actually want to go in with my life, and I'm like, the thought of like being reminded of my job on my off time, terrible. Yeah, holding someone tenderly and then thinking about like about like fucking I don't know, about SolidWorks. Not the kind of SolidWorks I want to think about right now. Most definitely not. I'm just like absolute hell. But yeah. Listen though, in this game, I can make an exception. I would say this job is more like I'm a freelancer. I would say in this, well, what if there's a cute wish woman at your workplace? Hypothetically, you fell for her and want to hold hands. Um, Only if it's platonic. Only if it's platonic hand holding. I think I could only get behind platonic hand holding. Once again, I don't think I could be like properly attracted properly attracted to like someone I work with. Just feels like a lot. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry for you. I mean, maybe if it's, I guess it's one thing if it's like a regular coworker and not your boss. If it's your boss, then no, I would advise against it. But if it's like a coworker, I feel like it's not bad, but it's again like I don't know, it just feels like it would be kind of funky. I feel like even when I was temping at my partner's company, it still felt like it bled into each other in a way that I didn't like. Um, it bled into each other in a way that I didn't like all the time. Um, we tried our best to maintain like solid boundaries and whatnot, but again, like I could only handle it because it was a temporary position. Um, I could not imagine that like long term. I think I would die. But again, different people are different. That's just how I interpret things and live my life. But yeah, it is like midnight. AK, it's way past my bedtime. Technically, I was supposed to go to bed way earlier, but I I had audio problems and I was stubborn. I had audio problems and I was stubborn. I'm so sorry. I hope everything works out for you. I hope things work out for you. Next time I'll remember to stream in low latency so that the lag is not terrible crazy. Get some sleep, yeah. It's past my bedtime. I have to wake up so early. I have to wake up at like 6 a.m. for work. Fun fact. I have to wake up so early for work because I work in a 9 to 5, but it's actually an 8 to 4. So I have to be there at 8, which means I have to wake up at like 6, which sucks. If I actually want to like be a person and pack my lunch and do my yoga and all of that, ugh, terrible. Okay. Anyhow, thank you guys all for tuning in. I had a lot of fun, even if my audio situation was whack. Even if my audio situation was whack at the beginning, I hope everyone had a good time. Because I did. I had a good time. It's okay, I slept late last night. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good night, guys. I don't know the next time I'm going to stream. That's something I wanted to talk about at some point, actually. I might do like a stream where we just talk about my plans for the future, which sounds so weighty. I consider these past few streams like a soft launch of what I'm doing, but I'm thinking about like hard launching, and that would require having more like I guess a more solidified identity, if that makes sense. This is kind of just like streaming with whatever assets I got. Seek L. I want to play Seek L, but also I suck at programming. I'm so bad at programming. I feel like I would feel so stupid the whole time. I would feel so stupid the whole time. I'll try streaming when you're not at work. Send me your entire work schedule and I'll try to work around it, okay? We'll try to work around it. But yeah, I would love to play Seek L, but also I suck at programming, and I feel like I don't need that kind of humiliation on the internet, despite the fact that I have said some unhinged things these past few streams. But it's okay. It's on the internet forever, and that's simply my life now. But yeah. I want to try doing like a hard launch, but I will probably look at Nagi's progress since then. Yeah, but Nagi has more programming brain cells than me. You don't understand. I'm really bad at programming. You don't understand how bad I am at programming. It's terrible. I have had so many really good. I've had professors and tutors and like private teachers, like friends that are really good at whose entire careers are currently programming, try and help me learn how to program, and even then I can barely understand it. I can barely understand what I'm doing. It's so bad. It's so bad. Meanwhile, on my resume, I have like 3 different programming languages. If you're my future employers, don't listen. If you're my future employers, you didn't hear this. But, you know, yeah, I will simply try. I'm simply trying my best. But, yeah. tomorrow I have D&D. I think, depending on my plans for this weekend, I might not be a good being a good programmer does not equal being a good teacher. Honestly, that's kind of true though. But honestly, like I had several people being like, me when lying. I had several people be like try and help me, both at different levels of like, oh my god, you actually did send me your work schedule. Oh my god, you're off today. That's so cool. And then tomorrow you're working. That's okay because I have D&D tomorrow, so I'm busy. But Friday, I might stream on Friday, honestly. I might stream on Friday, or I might stream on Saturday. I think I will probably just be, well, actually, I take that back. I'm probably not going to stream on Saturday because I have brunch and build on Saturday. So I'll probably stream on Friday, but I will just be, like, talking. Maybe doodling. Maybe a little bit of art. Because I mostly just want to, like, gauge and figure out, like, what the fuck I'm doing. Just ramble about what the fuck I'm doing, because I feel like if I speak it out loud, it's easier for me to, like, visualize and put things together. And also, I like people's input. I like my friends giving me their input. So, we'll think about that we'll probably do that, like, Friday evening. And there's a chance my family might be hanging out with me on Saturday. We'll see. If you could hear the contempt for your voice in Brunch and Build. I don't have contempt in my voice for Brunch and Build. Maybe a little bit at Brunch and Build. Maybe a little bit, but no, I don't want to quit Brunch and Build. I like doing it. I just want it to be in a better place. And that's why I'm doing stuff on my personal channel, so that I can have the freedom that I wanted. And also, I would like to, like, figure that out, what I'm actually doing with this, because I want to keep doing it. I like doing this. I like doing this. I want to keep doing it, but I want to do it in a more, like, solidified capacity. So it doesn't, like, I want to put more effort into this, is what I'm saying. But yeah, for now, I've been rambling. We're gonna save the rambling for Friday, and I will go to bed before I go too far. It's already pretty past my bedtime. I still have to brush my teeth. Man. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back on Friday, probably. And I hope you guys have a good night or good day or good whatever. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.